Hey, I'm Lizzie from backyardbanshee.com. Thanks for being here. Today I'm going to talk to you about the meanings behind the Death card in the Major Arcana in Tarot. So I'll give you a little bit of an introduction and talk about the keywords of the card, like the upright meaning, reverse meaning, like what it means for career, business, for love, just general advice for this card. So I'm going to show you the Death Tarot card here. This, if you can see it, is from the Moon and Stars Tarot by Jane Wallace. I like using these decks. We'll put a link with the video so you can have a look at the deck yourselves. But the keyword on the card there is release. So there's one keyword for you. Typically I would go down the route of like endings, new beginnings. It's not as scary as you think it's going to be. It's not somebody's going to die. Like that's not what the Death card is. The traditional imagery on the card is death on a pale white horse and people bowing down, and it's literally the end of something. Like death's rode in at the end of the war, like at the end of the fight, you know. There's a 5-pointed like flower on there, and 5s are typically to do with like erratic motion and like sudden change. The numerology of the card as well, we have here 13 for the Death card. That's also a sudden change in numerology, and that's moving things forwards. Like it's a very Uranian number in itself, but we have, if you broke it down further, like it comes to 4, so like 1 + 3 = 4, and 4s are very much to do with like foundations and structure and building, and this is what's happening moving forward as well. Death is ruled by like the element of water. Like it's very fluid, like it's usually like an emotionally charged time. It's ruled by the zodiac sign Scorpio, which is very like rebirth focused, like deeply transformative. It's a time of change. And it is also, it has these Plutonian kind of elements as well, with the whole like death and rebirth themes as well. So death isn't scary in tarot when it comes up. It shouldn't be something that makes you go like, no, it's not for that. It's more to do with that there's a change coming and it's up to you to get on board with it. So that's a reverse keyword for Death Tarot card. Like it's that kind of resisting change. If there's been like some stagnancy in what's going on, or even like you're digging your heels in and trying to delay the inevitable, it's not going to work out for you. So it's better to just embrace this, like the power of transformation, the time of rebirth, and move forward with that. So if we had this card in a relationship reading, in a love reading, I would look at it like things may be time for a change, like something like is finished within the relationship, whether that's you've been together a while and now it's time to break up, or it's to indicate that like you've got habits that need to finish with you both. Like say things have been going a certain way for a while and you're getting a bit complacent and maybe a little bit stagnant, you know, things need to change in that respect. But the good vibes of that is that it's like something that you're going to do together. Like it's quite an intimate card, Death, you know, it is something that like you can't avoid. It's inevitable, it's going to happen for you. So together as like a relationship, that would indicate that like you can take your power back in that way and move forward with new changes. It's time for a new beginning. If you are single and looking for a relationship, this is a time to like look for the relationship, essentially. Like your single time has finished. And if you're single and not looking, it could be that things are quite stagnant in other areas for you, and that may provide some feelings of loneliness, and you may feel like the darker, like negative aspects of being alone. This is a temporary thing. The thing about these kind of transformative times is that they can be quite sudden, so you don't have to wait around for long. If you had the Death card in a business or career reading, I would say similar things again of it's time to take charge moving forward in a direction that you want to. Like a project might be coming to an end. It might be that like it's time for a new sale to clear out old stock, ready for the new season you've got ahead, for example. If this was a reversed card for like business or career, I would suggest that things need to change, and you need to stop resisting that. Like you need to, I don't know, like no, you need to step into your power a little bit here and take it on yourself. Like be in charge, be independent about this, you know, like Death rode in on a pale white horse. Like he wasn't waiting for anybody. Like he came in and things grew from there, you know, like the balance and harmony was restored. Like cards moving forward, we have like Temperance, etc. So I wouldn't worry too much if the Death card came up for you in a tarot reading. It's just a process of life and it's completely normal. If this card came up as like a feeling, I would say that it's time for change and that you can feel things coming to an end in some aspect of life, and you're aware, you have like this insight that something is happening and you want to take action for this. Like if the Death card came up as a person, it would be that kind of powerful, influential friend who can help you be like a change maker. Like they guide you, you know, like Death comes for us all, but again, it's an intimate card, it's an intimate placement, and as a person, it's somebody who helps you step into your power of being like a change maker and you making things happen. If the Death card came up just for general advice, I would say that, you know, it's now time for something new. Bigger and better is awaiting you, and you deserve to let some things go. It's time to release things that aren't serving you, that aren't bringing you joy, that aren't bringing you life, you know. So if this card came up, I would suggest looking at like things that are really important to you, things that are life and death to you, and ensure that like you follow that with like vibrant passion that's really there for you and brings you all the joy. I would say that the Death card as a yes or no card would be a maybe, because whilst it's really strong, it depends on the circumstance. So for the Death card to come up for things like, will I get this job, to indicate like if you've gone for a job interview and you're waiting to hear about it, I would say I would take it on the side of no, you're not going to get that job, but the job that you are in is finishing, or something is wrapping up for you. Like you are already done. That is why you're looking for another job anyway. But this card showing up for that sort of question to me would indicate like, yes, it's the right thing for you. And that is why I would say that the Death card is like a maybe card. It purely depends on your circumstances. So thank you for spending some time with me while we talked about the Death card in tarot. There will be a link below for you to have a look at this deck specifically in more detail. But thank you for spending time with me. I hope you've learned something, and there's another video coming soon. Until next time.